For our Borough Council regular meeting for May 21st, 2025. Our agenda is as follows. We will start with our call to order and roll call.
President Ferguson.
Here.
Vice President Gerard.
Here.
Councilmember Burns.
Here.
Councilmember Fagan.
Here.
Councilmember Cresser.
Here.
Mayor Gerard.
Here.
Junior Councilperson Nisbet. Borough Manager Snyder.
Here.
Borough Solicitor Townsend.
Here.
All right. Sorry, I'm making a note here. Let's stand and do our Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Mayor will do our invocation.
Please bow your heads with me. As we gather here tonight to discuss matters of great importance, let us take a moment to reflect on our shared purpose. When we approach our conversations with open minds, striving for understanding and collaboration, let us be guided by a spirit of respect and unity as we work together for the common good of our community. And let us ask for the protection of our police officers and firemen and our emergency professionals, and all who respond to the needs of our community. Amen.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. All right, getting into tonight's agenda, we'll start with item 1, approval of the meeting minutes. Can I get approval of the agenda for the May 21st, 2025 regular meeting?
Second.
I get motion from Councilman Cresser, second from Councilman Burns. Any questions, changes, or amendments? Excuse me. If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Item 2, approval of the minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the April 2nd, 2025 workshop meeting and the April 16th, 2025 regular meeting?
Second.
I get a motion from Councilman Gerard, a second from Councilman Fagan. Are there any questions, changes, or amendments? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Item 3, public input. If there's anyone here from the public who would like to make a statement, we ask you to rise, step up to the podium, Vic, and state your reason for addressing council. All right, with having none, we'll go to item 4, announcements.
Next council meeting is the June 18th workshop regular meeting at 7 p.m. in council chambers. The planning commission is scheduled to meet on Monday, June 23rd at 6 p.m. in council chambers. PEROC is scheduled to meet Wednesday, May 28th at 8 a.m. in council chambers. The Hatfield Borough offices will be closed on Monday, May 26th in observance of the Memorial Day holiday. The Hatfield Museum Historical Society is scheduled to meet on Tuesday, May 27th at 7 p.m. in council chambers. Hatfield 250 Living History Day is scheduled for Saturday, May 31st, 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. in School Road Park. Founders Day is scheduled for Saturday, June 14th, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Centennial Park. And just a quick reminder that there will be a Hatfield Memorial Day Parade this Monday coming up, starting at 9:00 a.m. at Memorial Park. I know if you are attending and you're walking, I believe Lindsay sent an email out to be there at 8 a.m. for lineup. And we do have candy to be tossed out, and we'll have Public Works drive.
All right, want to encourage anyone listening to come on out and see the parade. Bring your kids and get some candy. All right, any questions for the manager, Madam Manager? All right, having them, we'll go to item 5, new business and discussion items. We'll start with item A, utility replacement project payment number 8. And might as well talk through B, payment number 9, and payment number 10.
Sure. So A, B, and C on the agenda tonight are payments for the utility replacement project. I want to highlight starting payment request number 8. I was informed this afternoon that the payment request number 8 needs a slight change. We get certified payrolls from the company to complete the work, and a subcontractor did not submit the certified payrolls for the concrete work for that project. So the payment request number 8 for storm sewer replacement on East Broad Street, we're taking out the curb, sidewalk, and driveway apron replacement as part of that. So it was $224,595. The new payment request is now going to be $164,866.50. So I did speak with Kate earlier today, and she let me know that when we are going through the action items, you can just amend it to the $164,866.50. That's what you will be approving. And also when you approve the bill list, because it's listed on the bill list, please just approve the bills list as amended or something like that, whatever the motion the president wants to make, but just so we're doing it with all transparency. And it's, everything else is submitted. The project's great. It's just, we don't pay you if you don't submit certified payroll receipts. So they didn't, so we didn't want the contractor to wait for the whole 225 or 224 and change all the way to June. So we said we would make a compromise if it was accepted by legal, and she said that was fine today. Moving on to payment request number 9, that is for the $33,813.90 for storm sewer replacement on North Main Street. And payment number 10 is for $2,745 for sanitary sewer replacement on North Main Street. And the reason these payments are broken out into 3 individual payments is it's easier for reimbursement for the grants. So because we actually have 4 grants moving with, and we're trying to get reimbursement as we go along. It's easier if we can just show the canceled checks for each one, and it keeps it easier for reimbursement. So all 3 of these are on for consideration as an action item this evening.
All right, any questions? So the difference, which is a little over $59,000, that'll be paid in June.
Yeah, the difference $59,728.50.
Okay.
It'll probably come as a separate like payment request. So maybe payment request number 11 for X or 12, however, we're there till June. So we're just gonna take that out, pay the contractor, and he just won't pay his sub for the concrete work because the certified payrolls weren't submitted.
Okay, that's 59,728 and change, right? 728.50. you said?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
$59,728.50.
Okay. All right. Any questions on A, B, or C? All right. Having none, we'll go to item D, the 2025 Spring Town Hall recap.
Just wanted to put this on the agenda for really an open discussion for council. I thought it was a great turnout, had very positive comments. I think when Steve and I walked downstairs, we said that's probably the best town hall we've ever had since we've worked here, with the engagement with the residents. Their feedback, it was very much more of just an open discussion rather than just a presentation where we're just sitting up there feeding you information. So we did do that. Kind of took away from the town hall some questions about, PJM and electric and their rates rising. And, I think that was described well. More focused on the Heather Meadows pond. Most people in attendance want to see aquatic life sustainable in that pond moving into the future, and want to see maybe a little bit of 3 combined in that option, which was like wetlands. Maybe we would have to do a 2 and 3 together. We don't know if water's sustainable there, if there's a sustainable water source, so we're gonna keep investigating in that. Number 1, the option to fill it in wasn't the best received that evening, though I have received emails since then with people that live in that community that have said they watched the town hall, and that would be the option that they would choose. So just wanted to share that if anybody had comments or feedback from that meeting.
I had yesterday many comments about
Oh, okay.
filling it in, that was their choice, about the problems with the geese and all the things geese bring. So I did mention, did you come to the town hall then? Because I don't recall anybody saying that they want it filled in.
Yeah.
It seemed just the opposite, but, I can confirm what you're
Okay.
saying. There are people that want it filled in.
So I think when we left the town hall, we kind of were like, we will continue to investigate, Lansdale, Stony Creek Pond, Christopher Dock Pond. There were 2 ponds that are sustaining aquatic life within a 3-mile radius of us, or maybe 4-mile radius of us. How does it work for them? What kind of our options moving forward, and try to get something and some more investigation completed prior to the strategic planning meeting in September. So we can talk about it there. We can talk about it with Public Works and Property and Equipment Committee. We always talk about the pond. And then, see if there's, maybe which way we want to go, the direction, if there's funding that's needed for 2026, maybe 2026 is applying for grants, looking at that angle. So we'll have a better direction hopefully in September where we can report back and, where we've kind of done our investigation.
Just want to make a comment too about, pass it on to the staff. You guys did a really good job of organizing it. And I think that helped with how the meeting went. The boards and everything that were here and the group that was here that helped us,
Yeah,
it was very professional, Some of the other ones, it's not that they weren't professional, but I just think there was more information here, and we were targeting things. So it was a really good job by the staff.
yeah, and I think we had talked about possibly doing something in the future. Vice President Gerard brought up at the last meeting, like, hey, how could we make these more interactive, right? How can we bring people out? I think they appreciated the back and forth canter. They appreciated the being able to place a dot on a map and like, where are we? How can we do that better in the future? So I think that was a positive interaction that now we can implement that in the future, because I actually liked the town hall that was interactive. It was just conversation. It was people's feedback. I thought that was a lot better. I understand for budget, it's kind of like, hey, we're up there and we're kind of giving information. There's really nothing we can do to make it fancy when you have to, raise rates or balance a budget. But I think for the spring, we have a lot of positive comments and how a direction to move forward of a little bit more interaction type of thing. I think we'll get people out.
And I think the people feel or know that their voices are heard and they can see that.
Yeah.
Because we were all there, we're talking to them and we're interacting. So it's good.
One other thing I'd like to add, I think it might be a good idea to extend a formal invitation to I guess they have a homeowners association there, to come to the September meeting, specifically to them, to, sort of expand their horizons and explain further what we're planning on doing, so that they get a better idea that we just don't want to fill in the pond if we can avoid it.
Sure, I can reach out to they have an HOA president that we're in community, so I can send him an email and just give him the updates of these are when the meetings are. This is the topics that are going to be discussed. We'd encourage you to come out and or share that with their residents or the board members of the HOA, because we want feedback.
How many HOAs are in the borough? We have that one. There's the new one, Hatfield Walk.
I can think of 3, not including Hatfield Walk. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. That's the largest one.
Right.
But there are HOAs over on Gerard, Roosevelt Avenue back
Right.
there. But they're more for if an owner owns 2 quads next
Right.
to each other, they kind of get an HOA together.
I'm just
That
thinking
sort of
for the
thing.
future, that might be a good communication path for us, for meetings like that, for the survey, to put it out to them and say, hey, at your meetings or whatever, or in your communication to the people in your HOA, that may be a help for us.
And I know we have a lot of contacts through the rental inspection and fire safety for all the management companies. So a management company manages Meadowbrook, manages Liberty Bell Square, and we have their emails. Easily can add them to blind copy them to a general email,
Yeah.
hey, this is coming up, share this with your tenants.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea to be able to reach more people. And I know people joined online this time, maybe 8 to 10. I think that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting views, people are interacting. So I'll make a note of that for the
Yeah.
HOAs and the tenant,
Yeah.
management company.
I think that's a great idea, because yesterday I spoke with somebody and she puts out the newsletter for Heather Meadows. And she said that they were told by the HOA that we were going to fill the pond in.
Oh,
So I think it's important to get the correct information out there for everybody.
Yeah.
So inviting the.
Yeah, there were comments at the town hall about that. Oh, we
yes,
heard rumor, and that's, excellent.
Also, would it be advisable for you, Madam Manager, or the Public Works Committee to reach out to the state to see if they have advisors on the pond what we can do. I mean, they have advisors for bees, which I was surprised about. So I wouldn't be surprised if they have advisors that can give advice about waterworks or ponds or anything like that, that can maybe give us some advice and things to think about, consider.
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to see if there's anything at the state level. I know that Steve has reached out to like because we're part of the Neshaminy watershed.
Mhm.
They have come out and viewed the pond, like, and have worked with Steve on some resources for the pond. Perkiomen has a really great watershed. You can actually join them. It's like $1,000 a year, and they provide all services. Like they'll help you with grants. They will give you designs for your pond or designs for your basins or wetlands. Like they're a really good resource. They were at the Boroughs Association dinner, right, in April, that was. They give a great presentation. It's like a all around thing for $1,000,
Yeah.
you know? So we were planning on reaching out to them,
Okay.
but I can see if there's state agencies that maybe can come in outside of like the DEP or something.
Right,
Something that
right.
focuses on like a wetlands or something like that,
Right.
where they could come in and maybe just, we can even send them pictures, like help us give advice. Maybe they have some avenues that we haven't gone down.
And they would have access to know about resources or
Agree.
grants or things like that as well too. So, yeah.
That's a great idea.
And you have things like the university extensions, Penn State, Del Val, now they're a
Yeah.
university. They may
Steve
have
takes classes
extensions.
at Penn State Extension on ponds,
Yeah,
but Del Val's a good one. Didn't
Yeah.
think about that. I will see if they have something that's closer to.
yeah,
He does them online, like Penn State Extension program.
right.
I hear Michigan's a better school, but that's a whole other
Yeah, but
discussion. So,
nobody likes that, so.
yeah.
We're in red tonight, so.
I know. OH.
I would say, well, not to get into the school discussion, never mind. I won't do that. Because Penn State and Michigan both dislike Ohio State, so I think you're in the minority.
You
right?
mean the national champions? Oh,
Yeah, those national champions that lost to the Michigan Wolverines last year. So, sorry, you're not familiar. We have this banter back and forth. So,
I think we need to change their seats.
no children. Wanna stop this?
At least they're not throwing spitballs at each other.
Yeah.
All right, that was a great recap. All right. Item 6, old business. We'll start with resolution 2025-08, recognizing National EMS Week.
National EMS Week is May 18th through May 24th. So this week, this is an annual resolution that Borough Council and the Mayor passed just to honor and recognize National EMS Week. If it is approved this evening, I certainly will send a copy to Chief Wheeler at VMSC. He always appreciates it every year to show that how much Hatfield Borough is appreciative of EMS and all of their services.
Any questions? If none, we'll go to item B, resolution 2025-09, recognizing Public Works Week.
So this is, 2025 marks the 65th annual, National Public Works Week, and that is also this week, May 18th through the 24th. This is something, Borough Council has done and the mayor recently in the past recent years, just to honor the great job that, our public works guys do. And I know that Steve and the guys appreciate the recognition that you give them. So if this is passed this week, we will get it down there, and, I think they display them in Steve's office. They have like a nice display of the ones that you guys have passed previously.
We still haven't listed Steve by name in that, have we? I know that's been his request.
Yes, he
Okay.
just misses it.
Okay, good. All right, item C, resolution 2025-10, closure of certain borough roads.
This resolution authorizes the closure of Cherry Street and Union Street on June 14th to celebrate Founder's Day. The event is 12 p.m. to 4 p.m., but the roads will be closed from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. for setup and breakdown and allow the vendors to arrive. This is on for consideration as an action item this evening.
And we already approved the resolution for the Memorial Day road closures, right?
Correct,
Right.
yes.
Even though we just found out we made it broad because we didn't know which roads at the time.
Correct, yes. Yeah, that wasn't designated to certain streets. It was just, because we didn't know the route, but they approved the main route. Which was great.
Right, okay, all right. All right, any questions on old business? If not, we'll get to the action portion of our meeting. We'll start with item A, action to consider resolution 2025-08, recognizing National EMS Week.
So moved.
Second.
I get a motion from Councilwoman Cresser, a second from Councilman Burns. Any questions, changes, or amendments? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Motion passes. Item B, motion to consider resolution 2025-09 recognizing Public Works Week.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilman Fagan, a second from Councilman Cresser. Any questions, changes, or amendments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Motion passes. Item C, motion to consider resolution 2025 10 authorizing closure of certain borough roads for the Hatfield Borough Founder's Day event.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilman Cresser, second from Councilman Gerard. Any questions, changes, or amendments? If none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Motion passes. Item D, motion to consider request number 8 for utility replacement project to KBC Construction LLC in the amount of $164,866.50. Can I get a motion for payment number 8, request number 8?
Motion.
Second.
A motion from Councilman Burns, a second from Councilman Gerard. Any questions, changes, or amendments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Motion passes. Item E, motion to consider payment request number 9 for utility replacement project to KBC Construction LLC in the amount of $33,813.90.
Second.
I get a motion from Councilman Cresser, a second from Councilman Fagan. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Motion passes. Item F, motion to consider payment request number 10 for the utility replacement project to KBC Construction LLC in the amount of $2,745.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilman Burns, a second from Councilman Cresser. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Are there any questions on the bills?
I just wanted to highlight that, yes, the bill list is over $1 million. But if you noted on the top of the first page, not the updated bill list, but the first one, or it might be on this one too. We had our principal payments, like the big principal payment that comes in every year of over $400,000. So it was like $400,765.98. So that's a significant portion of the bill list. Without that, it dropped down to like $779. I'm also very happy to report that, we did not take any money from our investments to make that payment. So, I know that's something, not saying we're not gonna have to when the electric starts to rise after the capacity auction, that's gonna hit in June. Then we'll have a new auction, but, we did talk about that there's a good possibility we would have to take money from investments, and we budgeted that in our, budget this year because we have these big principal payments that come in May, and we don't know about the taxes and how that works out. So Diane and I were able to make it work, and we did not take anything from our investments. So I just want to let you guys know. We were very excited.
Can you go back to the other page? We have to amend that number on the third line?
Yeah, so you would just like pass,
Yeah.
pass the bill list like as amended.
As amended
or-
per,
yeah,
yep.
Okay.
I have a clarification question. The line items that are bolded, what do they represent?
They're the highest amounts on the bill list. Yeah.
Thank
You're welcome.
Management does it just to highlight the big numbers for us. So, so when we're looking through the 75 lines of payments, we know which ones to really focus on.
I mean, I said make it this now.
Not sure how to feel about that.
Yeah.
That statement. Is there a big one coming that we should know about? All right, if there are no questions, can I get a motion to approve payment of the bills as amended for the $244,593 amended down $59,728.50 to $164,866.50.
Motion.
Second.
I got a motion from Councilman Burns, a second from Councilman Gerard. Any other questions? And did I get the numbers correct? All in favor? Opposed? There are none. Motion passes. All right, we will have an executive session. to discuss legal matters and personnel matters. So can I get a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none, so we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.